Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 11. 11 is an angel number. 11 is, I just love seeing 1111. I love it. Truth's favorite number is 1. Obviously, I made that up. Not right now, but I do say his favorite number is 1. Me and my nephew. My nephew and I are very big into numbers. So his favorite number is 8. My favorite number is 5. So he's always like, what's Truth's favorite number? And I'm like, it's 1, because I look at Truth as an angel. So anyway, today's main topic, I figured it would be nice to talk about mediumship. I mean, there's many of you who have learned about me through my mediumship. So I knew that it would be, eventually we would talk about it on an episode. And I figured 11 being an angel number would be a perfect time to talk about mediumship. So we'll talk about mediumship and the afterlife, or souls, like angels, that kind of thing. But first, we're going to do our shiny crystal of the week. Our shiny crystal this week is my friend Daniela. She is also a medium. We've known each other. She's actually one of my little sister's friends. When we were all younger, I was the older brother, so she always knew me. She was always around in the family. We always had a cool vibe, a cool connection. And she's a medium. She's great. She's been doing it a little longer than I have. She's somebody I went to when I first started realizing that I had the ability of mediumship. We'll get into that whole story, but we've really reconnected since I've been back to New York. We meet like once a week, we hang out, we talk mediumship, we talk spirit, we talk about life, and we have a soul connection, and we've always just kind of guided each other. And I wanted to name her as the shiny crystal of this 11th episode. And as we talk about mediumship, she has been someone that I have reached out to, that I practice with, that I went to when I got activated in mediumship. The psychic stuff was happening before that, but the mediumship started during the psychic readings that I was doing in the past. We'll get to that. So Daniela's my shiny crystal. Love you. And I'll see you this weekend. Actually, this will air a couple of weeks later, so I won't see it we'll see it sometime. Anyway, moving on. So our celeb big 3. We're going to do Moon and Sagittarius today. Moon and Sagittarius. Oh, my Sagittarians. You guys know how I feel about the Sagittarius. Sagittarius, to me, besides my past experiences with the Sag, in general, it's hard to understand Sagittariuses because they're supposed to be this like deep philosophical sign, but I find with the men especially that they're not. That they're very they're supposed to be this free spirit, just go with the wind, and I don't know. With Sagittarius, Sagittarius women I vibe with. We have fun together. They are the go with the flow, but they're biting. They just got that mouth, They just got that mouth. They always got to say, they just got that like. And I love it. That's why I love it with the girls, because I just feel like it's just fun. It's sassy. With the boys, sometimes it's hurtful. It's just, they just got that mouth. I just want to give you the boys. I'm not going to slap a girl, but the boys, I just want to give them that. That's how I feel about the Sagittarius. Love you, but I can't figure you out. It's like, are you deep? Are you not deep? Or do you care? Do you not care? I don't know. So maybe there'll be a Sagittarius that comes into my life one day that shows me that I don't know why I don't feel that depth. I just feel, and it's no shade. It's nothing bad. I'm not saying anything bad about the Sag girl, the Sag boy. I've said before, and I love the Sag boy. My sister's boyfriend, Sagittarius, love him. We have a vibe together. I think he's funny. He's generous. He is easygoing. So I do get that. I do get that. But yeah, it's hard for me to figure them out. But yeah, so I chose my celeb that I chose today was Oprah. Oprah is a sun in Aquarius, moon Sagittarius, rising Scorpio. Again, my favorite with the 3 different elements. She's got the water, the fire. Oh, I'm wrong. Oh no, Aquarius is air. Sorry. She's got the air, the fire, the water, because of Scorpio rising. So I love the 3 elements. Oprah, again, so hard to figure out, Like, are you genuine? Are you not? Are you shady? Are you not? We don't know. And because she's got that Aquarius with Sagittarius moon, oh my God, like, there's no figuring this woman out. You know, the Aquarius, that's where she's got that giving heart. That's the thing that makes me believe she does truly care. You know, but then you get all these conspiracies that she's shady and this and that. And she's got that Scorpio rising. That's why she's got that success. You know, the Scorpios, they just have that zoom, you know. She's got that work ethic, that extra something. But she's got that Aquarius Scorpio. I can't figure her out. I can't. But again, too, she's been doing that same thing. She's had that talk show. Oh, my God. She's had that talk show for, let's say, 80s, 90s, 2000, like over 40 years. That's wild. That's that Scorpio rising. Remember I always say that Scorpio work ethic? That's that Scorpio rising. She had that and she rolled with it. It's probably the longest standing talk show out there. But yeah, she's got that moon and Sag. I guess that's where she gets that whole like just straightforward talk, you know, like maybe Sages are good listeners. I don't know. I'm going to be transparent and honest. When it comes to the Sagittarius, there's not a lot of like characteristics that I'm really like understanding or knowledgeable about. I always kind of just say, all right, Sag, you know, but again, all my Sag women I love. I find them fun, but they got that sharpness, that sassy to them. And I love it as long as it's on my side, you know, like they could be a little biting. I've had Sagittarius female friends in high school that I'm still friends with now, but you know, I walk a little on a tight rope with them, you know, on an eggshell, you know, because I don't want them getting nasty with me, you know. So there, you know, but let's look at the other celebrities. We have Jennifer Aniston. She's a Sag moon. I love her. See, again, easygoing, fun. Scott Disick. See, those boys, they got that mouth, right? Those Sagittarius moons, they got that mouth. Scott's always getting himself in trouble. Woody Harrelson, he looks like someone, if you knew him, he puts his foot in his mouth a lot. Lenny Kravitz, cool. One thing I'll say about Sages, they definitely have that cool vibe. They got cool style. Selena, now I ain't got nothing wrong to say about Selena. I'll tell you that right now. But again, she probably, and Selena, Sagittarius moon female. Fun, going with the flow, doing her thing. Got that fire energy. Freddie Mercury, cunty. You know, like I just feel like Freddie Mercury would say a few things that make me feel bad. You know, like he's got that cunty energy to him. Justin Timberlake, he's like Oprah. He's an Aquarius with Sag moon. I know that, you know, we all got this, Justin was bad to Britney vibe, right? We got that whole thing going. I like Justin. I think he's cute. But yeah, there's rumors that he's a little mean. And that's that Sagittarius moon again. Keke Palmer, she's got that mouth, right? She's always got something sassy to say. But that's what I love about her, because that's why I love my Sag females. Nicole Kidman, she's got that air of just fabulousness. I love Nicole Kidman. I think there's something about Nicole Kidman that's just like, as an actress, I don't know, you know, she's a little bit like a little weird, I think, personally. Like she's a little bit like spacey in my mind, but like I like her as an actress. Kevin Costner. Now, Kevin Costner, again, he's got that cunty face, you know, like I feel like Kevin Costner, he's double Earth, thank God. I believe he's Capricorn Virgo. That saves him. But that Sag, no, I'm sorry. He's, wait, is he Sag rising? Or, because I wrote double Earth here, which means sun and moon. Hold on. Let's double check that. Kevin Costner. Birth date. But yeah, he's a Capricorn sun. Let's see, his moon, big 3. So I bet you he's Sag moon and a Virgo rising. So yeah, so he is Kevin Costner is, sun Capricorn, moon Sag, rising Virgo. His moon is actually on the cusp of Sag Scorpio, but that's what it is. So thank God for his Capricorn sun and his rising in Virgo, because that moon Sag, you could see it just peering out. Like that moon in Sag, it just wants to like jump out of his face. You know, like he just has that face. You just look at Kevin Costner and say, you want to say something nasty. You know, that's how I feel about Kevin Costner. Like, I just feel like he's like itching to say something cunty to you, you know? So that's what I mean with the boys, with the moon and Sag. But my girl Sages, I love yous. You know, if any of you have a Sagittarius boyfriend or a moon and Sagittarius boyfriend, message me. Let me know what you feel about this vibe that I'm picking up from them. Like, what do you think? You get what I'm saying with that? You know, they got that mouth. You want to put soap in that mouth, right? So that's how I feel. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to talking about mediumship, talking about the journey I've been on with the mediumship, talking about what I've learned about like life after death and what souls are doing and going through. So just real quickly, just get you up to date and up to speed of when I realized I had mediumship abilities. So I always felt, and I've told this, I said this in episode 1, I talked about it, so we're not going to go deep into it, but I always had the psychic feelings. I always had the visions. I always had the intuition. I always had the empath abilities and the spirit guides talking to me. I look back at journals that I had when I was 19, 20, 21, and I was always writing the clairsentient. I would write these wisdoms that I didn't know where it came from. They always wound up happening. So there was always that was always there. The mediumship, though, I never claimed that until I started doing psychic readings for people. Before pandemic, while I was still doing comedy, I was dabbling. And in the process of dabbling with psychic readings, I wasn't doing it professionally. I was practicing at first. I would do it at the dog park on Friends because I said I wanted to leave comedy. I wanted to get out of the entertainment business. I wanted to follow my spiritual path. I wanted to get back to the message that I had when I was younger. I wanted to get back to the core of the purpose of my journey, of the messages I had. And I would practice the psychic stuff on people, you know, and because I wanted to make sure I did that for like 2 years. I wanted to make sure I can do it on command, on cue. And I wanted to know what was the thing I was doing, because I had all the clairsentient, the clairvoyant, the empath stuff. I always had, you know, the visions, you know, so I wanted to know what exactly is it that I do. While I was practicing, or even doing like small little readings, after I practiced for a year or two, I started doing these small little readings at my apartment. Dead people started coming to me, and I would get mad, and I'd be like, whoa, hold on. So I would say to the person, you know, did your father pass away? Because I'm getting a man here who's coming through as a dad. And they would say, hey, yes, oh my God. Or I remember one of the first times with Jane, not Jane, my crystal, from my neighbor, Jane in LA, a woman I was friends with at the dog park. I would say she was in her 60s. And I said to myself, we were trying to figure out where her trauma came from, what the block was. And I saw it, and her dad showed it to me. And I said to her, because, you know, she was in her 60s. So, you know, I was like, when you were a kid, did your father pass away? And she said, yeah, I've never told you that. How did you know that? And I said, I think he's telling me. I feel he's here. And I think this is where your trauma started. And this is the block that you have because you were a kid, so you never got to grieve it properly. And they say that when you lose a parent at a young age, that you stay at that age, like emotionally or mentally or whatever it is, you stay at that age. Because you're a kid, you don't know how to grieve. You don't really understand it. And, you know, adults are grieving, so they might not help you grieve or help you understand it. A lot of times, I think parents they try to make it like nothing's wrong or nothing's happened because they don't want that. But the grieving is very important for children. So I said, that's where your block is coming from. Your father is showing me. So I started to pick it up. I started to say, oh my God. So I think what happened was the spirit world knew I was opening up. They saw me working on my psychic stuff. They saw me working on my readings, and they said, boom. What happens is, and this is what my friend Daniela had explained to me, that they see a light. It's like a light outside the porch. The light is on. Once the spirit world sees that the light is on, they can then now communicate with you. Some people get it through dreams. Some people get it while they're trying to go to sleep. For me, it's when I'm meditating and I'm in that space with that person and I'm tuned in and I ask for it. See, I feel my spirit guides or the spirit world has a respect for my boundaries, which I love. because they come when I ask or when I connect or when I'm in the moment. I do know that my own personal spirit team guides me throughout my life, and that has always happened. I've always seen the signs. I've always seen the messages. I've always felt the things. But when it comes to doing an actual reading and connecting with other people's loved ones, I get in that space before I get into readings, before I even log on, before we connect. And so that's how, but it was happening in my readings. I wasn't saying, oh, I'm a medium, connect with me. It was happening in the readings all of a sudden. So that's when I realized, oh, I can do this. So I started practicing that for a while before I started offering it in the pandemic. So what I've learned in this whole process, well, first let me talk to you about what it's like to communicate with spirits, because I know that a lot of people have asked me that. People have asked me in readings and in session what it's like. When I'm doing a reading, when I'm meditated, when I'm in that space, what I do before my readings is I open up. I open my chakras. I start from my crown chakra. I see light coming out of my crown. I open my third eye. I open my throat chakra. The throat chakra, the more I open that up, is when I would start hearing audio. I would hear them more. So I open my throat chakra. I open my heart. So my heart chakra, for me, when I open that, I feel their messages. So when I open my crown, it's to receive. When I open my third eye, it's to see the things they're showing me. When I open my throat chakra, it's to hear the messages. When I open my heart chakra, it's to feel what they want me to feel. Then I open my solar plexus. That's in your gut, your stomach right here. When I open my solar plexus, it's to know. It's really activating my clairsentient. I get the feeling of knowing. Then I open my root chakra. When I open my root chakra, it's to release. Because I have in the past gotten souls, like not souls stuck in, but their energy, residual energy. I've gotten that kind of like jammed up a little bit in my, and that I've had shown to me through a psychic friend that I had in LA. She would say, yeah, honey, you're having a lot of residual energy from your readings stuck inside you. You really need to make sure you're cleansing it out after your sessions. So I make sure now to open my root chakra. So it's crown all the way through the root. So they can come in, go through all my senses, and then it can be released. It's very important because we are energetic beings. And I like to tell you guys this so that maybe you can connect to doing that yourself, or you can do it at home as well, or if you're feeling, but I want to heed this warning. This is real stuff. So please, if you are going to dabble in this, know that you are opening kind of like portals. You're inviting in these energies. You have to, along with it, really tell the spirit world, I don't want, any negative energies. I don't want lost souls. I don't give any, and this is part of what I say. I say, I do not give any spirits or entities permission to attach. I repeat that 3 times. I do not give any spirits or entities permission to attach, because they will. You'll start feeling their anxiety. Not to say that spirits are walking around with anxiety, but they may have dealt with that in their life. So sometimes they will attach that to you. As long as you do those things when you're opening up, from my experience, I have felt that it has worked 1,000 times, 1,000%. Like when I wasn't doing that, it was like a ball of stress. Like I would feel it all inside me. So that's why I open the root. Let it in, let it out. Let it in, let it out. So the way that they communicate, many different ways. Some will show you stuff. Some will make you hear things. Some will make you feel things. For me, I see a lot. So that's a lot of the majority of the messages. They'll show me. So like if somebody's, let's say their mother's coming through or their grandmother, first for me, they show up as like, I feel a mother energy. Now it could be your mother's mother. It could be your mother's grandmother. It could be your mother, but they'll show me a mother energy. I often will see the side of the family it's connected to. It's just almost like a knowing, but they show me. I'll see the word mom. Literally, I'll see mom, but I'll see like an older woman. So most of the time I can connect that, oh, this is your mom's mom. A lot of times when it's the person's parent, I feel that overwhelmingly. Yeah, so the way that they're communicating is very sensory. They'll either make me feel things, they'll show me things, they'll show me words. So yeah, I could place whether it's the mom side or the father side. But like I said, when it's a parent, I feel it overwhelmingly. You know, when I look at my people, I have just their first name. So I see their first name and then I feel, oh, father. There's a father coming through very overwhelmingly. So if I see someone's brother, it could be the mom's brother. So it could be the uncle. So it gets tricky. You have to like know how to really interpret it. My favorite thing is when a name pops up. I love a name because for me, it really validates exactly who I'm speaking to. Because I like those validations. I like to know, oh, this is definitely this person. So when they give me a name, oh, it's the best. There are some spirits that's like pulling teeth. You know, you're like, what are you? And sometimes that's their personality. That's another thing they do. They'll show me their personality. And that's my favorite. So when I'm reading someone, they'll say, oh my God, that sounds just like my grandmother, or it sounds exactly how they would say it. So I love when they show me their personality. Sometimes I'll say things. It's almost like it definitely is a channeling. They'll just make me say it the way they would say it. And I'll be like, oh, girl, I don't, like Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost. Like, I'll be like, I don't know why I just said it like that, you know? It's cool, but some in the past it used to feel very intrusive to me. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, that wasn't even me saying that, you know, like, or the words I choose, they'll be like, that's so funny because that's exactly how my dad would say that, or he would use that word specifically. And I'll say, yeah, I don't use that word often, so I believe they're making me say that word. So that's super cool too. I have fun with it. I love to be a channel for spirit world, like because of the fact that I start with my rules and boundaries. So I'm not afraid that like there's like an evil or crazy person like speaking through me, because I'm clear about what I can handle and what my boundaries are. So, but I think it's very cool. I have fun with it. I love letting them speak through me. I love when I'm reading somebody and I can see in the, you know, they'll show me, oh my gosh, it feels like I'm talking to my sister right now, or it feels like I'm talking to the parent, you know, like they'll say it to me. I love that so much. Like that for me is my favorite. Some of my favorite messages, I call them fly on the wall messages. So fly on the wall messages are sometimes mundane, like it's not anything that's like it's not like a groundbreaking, like a message, like a psychic thing or something that they're trying to guide you or warn you about. It's just a fly on the wall message. They'll tell me something that you might have done that day, or something that might have happened a couple of days ago, or they'll show me something that is about to happen. And it's like, it's just a fly on the wall. Like one time I was doing this reading for this person and it was their father that was popping up. So the father right away, like a minute into the reading, I said, I have a dad here. It feels like your father. So they said, that's my father. That's who I wanted to speak to. So then he says to me, and I'm writing, you know, I scribble and write. I'm like, doll, your mother. And he kept saying to me, your mother's doll, your mother's doll. So remember, I'm interpreting, right? So I'll say to the person, is your mom, I said, is your mom like a doll? Is she like really sweet? Or like, I feel like he's calling her a doll. I say, the way he's saying is your mother's doll. She's like, I guess she's nice. I go, all right. I go, I'm not convinced that that's exactly, you know, that he's saying she's a doll. All I know is he's saying your mother's doll. So I said, write it down because it might make sense later. Because in reading, sometimes it might not make sense in that moment, right? It might make sense later. A lot of times it does. So I said, just write down your mother's doll. So we do the reading, we do it, we finish the reading. Lots of beautiful things happen. Later on, I'd say about 45 minutes after, I'm hiking, I'm out in the mountain, and I get a text from them, and she says, so I didn't know what you were talking about really when you kept saying your mother's doll, but literally 20 minutes after we got off of our call, and she even said, she goes, my mom didn't know that I was having this reading. She sent me a picture of a new doll that she got, and she said, look at my doll, isn't she so cute? And I go, holy shit, that is exactly what your dad was trying to say. He was trying to say, I'm here. I see your mother. Like, because that's so like, that's so specific. Like, what mom really usually gets a new doll, right? Like, that's a very like unique kind of thing. And I go, that is so beautiful. And thank you for sharing that with me, because it really just reiterates. And I know this, but I still like to hear these things because it's just so cool. You know, I go, that's what he was saying. Your mother's doll. He was trying to show you he's with you guys. He sees your mother's doll. Now, yeah, that's not like a message that like is like this. It's just a fly on the wall message. It's letting you know I'm here. I see it. So I love that. That I just really, it was one of my favorite things. It was one of my favorite moments. I go, that's so cool. So those happen a lot in the readings, like fly on the wall messages. And I'll even say, I go, this might sound stupid, but like the other day, I go, do you have a lot of like pots and pans and dishes all over the place, or it's like kind of like stacking up or messy right now? And they laughed and they go, oh my God, I'm literally looking, they go, I'm looking at my kitchen right now and I'm noticing all these dirty dishes and plates and stuff in the sink. And I'm saying to myself, I have to do that. And I go, well, you're a person, I don't remember who it was, but they're saying they see that. You know, it's like one of those, it's like, sounds silly, but I mention it because it's a fly on the wall message. And to me, I love those because it really is so heartwarming to know that they're with us. Also, a lot of times spirits will show me body parts that they had issues in. They'll like show me their throat area or their stomach or whatever it is, you know, their head, their brain, you know, they'll show me the body part that they'll have issues in. They don't make me feel it because that was part of my boundaries. I don't want to feel the issues you had, but they'll show me, literally, they'll point to it. So that's always cool because it helps us identify exactly who we're speaking to. Sometimes they'll even be able to kind of uncover or unveil a mystery that you may have been wondering about. Like, what was it? What issues did they have? But they will show me literally the heart, this, that, the breathing. I was doing a reading for this girl and I kept seeing the dog that was alive. I kept seeing respiratory issues. And I'm like, I'm seeing sneezing, coughing with the dog that you have now. I'm not, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not saying that they have anything. I don't want to worry anyone, but I just keep seeing that. So just keep an eye on it. Literally, she texted me like a half hour later. She's like, I didn't realize like my dog had kennel cough. So that was that. So yeah, the spirits will show me the things you need to see or the things you need to talk about. So what happens after death? What happens after death? Obviously, I don't know exactly what happens after death because here I am. But my insight from what I feel or what I've learned through doing readings or even just like through discovering like in meditation or just my constant questioning of the universe or talking to other people, your soul goes on. Like your soul is energy. When your body is done, the energy has to go somewhere. So it goes back into the universe. So source, what people might call God or creator, that is the source. It's like a big light of energy in the universe that people call heaven as well. You can call it whatever you want. But that energy, that soul goes back. Energy has memory, just like that has already been studied. It has, it remembers things. It can show you things. It uses your brain. So it is just basically energy. It leaves your body. It goes into the universe. So souls can do one of three things. Again, this is just what I learned from what I feel and what I believe. They can reincarnate. Not everyone reincarnates. Not everyone chooses to reincarnate. They can go off into the universe, back to source. I guess that would be heaven. Or they can stay around the family. They could, and I guess that's a form of heaven for them. They can stay around the family. They will help as angels. They will be part of people's journeys. They will do things and show you things and help nudge you along the way. They'll do all kinds of things. They'll be a part of the family. They'll see things. There are souls that just go off and they're back into the light. They're back into the source. Some decide to reincarnate. And when they reincarnate, they can be either another baby that's born. They can decide to be a tree if they want. If they want to experience being a tree or a rock or a dog or a cat, some kind of animal. So it really, again, I don't know the logistics because I haven't been up in the office of the universe, but they decide what they want to do. What spirit care? What do they care about? That's another question. What do they care about? From what I've learned in doing readings, it feels like the spirit world wants you to know that they're around. That's one of the things I think that is a big importance to them. They want you to know that they're around. they also want to help nudge you to make. So here's the thing. What I also learned from another medium is we have free will and we have destiny. Your destiny is something that your soul already signed a contract, so to speak, before it came onto earth as what it was going to ultimately get to. Your experiences are your choices. You could either take the long way, you could take the short way, you could take the medium way, whichever way. But there are energetically different timelines, different things happening, different paths that can happen, that can open. But you ultimately get to the thing that your soul decided before it came onto earth. So like they say, what's meant for you won't miss you. I believe that. I do believe that you do eventually get it. You just have these detours. Every human has detours along the way. Some do the straight shot, but with a little bit of detours. Some have a lot of detours, but it's all about the learning process. It's all about your energy, soul. Energy wants to expand. It wants to grow. So even when it leaves the body, it's still growing. It's still expanding. That's like the nature of energy, expansion, growth. That's why it comes onto earth in a human form or a dog form or a tree to grow or expand or get bigger. The only thing that makes energy bigger is experience. So if you become a tree, you're experiencing the whole vibe of a tree. We might think that it's just standing there and it's not experiencing anything, but it's experiencing things. It's experiencing animals. It's experiencing insects. It's experiencing seasons. Even if you're in a state with not a lot of seasons, it's experiencing a lot. Trees experience what we experience: life, cycles, death, all of it. It even experiences horrible human behavior if they're like chopping it down, or like please don't carve into trees. I don't love that. When you carve into a tree, I think it's unnecessary. Don't feel bad if you did it, but don't do it again. I just feel like it's unnecessary to do that. I think trees have nervous systems and they feel things. So it just feels like, unless they ask for it, unless you see a tree at the tattoo shop, don't do it. So that's how I feel. That is what we talked about. So that's that. That's the short end of it right now. That's the gist. So I hope you got something from that. So let's do our voice note astrology. Let's see how this lines up today. Go ahead. Go for it, Jay.
I wanted to send a message. I met with you and you knew that I was going to have a baby boy before we did, like 2 years before. And so I just want to ask a question. I am a Leo sun, a Scorpio rising, and a Virgo moon. And my son is a Libra sun, an Aquarius rising, and a Scorpio moon. And I just want to know how I can support him and how I can be a better mom. He's just the best. And so I just want to be the best I can. Thanks.
Well, awesome. Thank you for that. And congratulations on your baby boy. I love that. I love when that happens. So let's see. Leo sun, Virgo moon, Scorpio rising. And then your sun is a Scorpio moon, Aquarius rising, and a Libra sun. So let's start with him. Libra sun, Scorpio moon. That's beautiful because it's so different. But I also say it's beautiful because it's like kind of back to back, Libra and Scorpio. That Aquarius rising, my rising is Aquarius. So basically what I've learned about Aquarius rising is he's going to be meant to do something for others. He's meant to be either a changer or an enlightener or a teacher, a leader. He's meant to guide people. So his purpose in this life, he won't be able to have success unless he is helping people or enlightening people or showing people things that he's learned, whatever that may be. So you'll see. And with that Libra sun, he'll want the balance, the fairness. That Scorpio moon, though, is going to give him a little bit of that's good that you have a Scorpio rising, because your rising is like your purpose. So your purpose will match perfectly with his emotional depth, with his true soul, which is his moon sign, Scorpio. Your sun signs, you being a Leo and him being a Libra, I would say because you have that Virgo moon, you're going to have to work on trying not to control him too much or trying to overteach him, because you have 3 very strong signs. You have Leo, Virgo, Scorpio rising. Those are 3 very powerful, strong, but can also be controlling. So your best bet is to catch yourself when you're being controlling, because his rising being Aquarius, he's meant to like figure it out so that he can teach other people. He's meant to kind of go through the mud a little bit so that he can help others through an empathetic nature, through true experience. So you have to let him experience things. Him being a Libra boy, you know, sometimes as teenagers or early 20s, Libra boys, they can get into some shit, and he's got that Scorpio moon. So you want to like teach him how to make the right decisions and to like balance everything out and to be like wise and a little bit safe, but just try not to control him too much. That's going to be your thing. Your thing is going to be the control thing. You have to let him figure it out so that he can be a service to this world. It's that Scorpio moon for me on him that keeps hitting me. Scorpio men need to have a good relationship with their mom. Otherwise they become a little bit internally jammed up. So I would say again for you, don't be controlling, because you're that mother figure and you can turn him one way or you could turn him in the, wrong way. So you have to work on your control stuff. You're going to want to protect him. You're going to want to guide him, which is great, but don't control him. Let him, make his mistakes. Let him definitely let him have his point of view, his perspective, his opinion. Do not smother in a controlling fashion. But yeah, I think it's that Scorpio moon, and thank God you're a Scorpio rising, because I think you'll have the sensitivity to know when you might be being too much. But that's the big thing that I'm finding for you. And it's funny because as I listen to you, you don't sound like somebody who is controlling or overbearing. You definitely don't sound like it. But with these placements, you might have a little piece in you, especially when you love a lot. Just like I was talking about in last episode, I'm the same way. When I love something so much, I want to make it perfect, and I want to protect it. Let me know if that resonates. Let me know, message me. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Okay. All right, my loves. Well, we are at the final thought. I hope you were able to get something from this when I talked about the mediumship. I chose this topic mainly and genuinely so that you can, have some information that you could learn from, that you could have some information that maybe you want to try out yourself or, enlighten yourself with. I know a lot of people have, questions about mediumship. So I hope that the information I gave you is helpful for you, for those who are on the path of possible mediumship. I think that a lot of people have been woken up. I think a lot of people have been activated. I think a lot of people can connect, and I think that's beautiful. I think we all should try. Not everybody's meant to connect, everybody's meant for different things. So if it's not part of your journey, I hope you found it interesting, and I hope to maybe see you one day in a session or hear about your own journeys. I love hearing about people awakening. I think we're all like little Avengers, so I love to hear about other people's journeys as well. Energy doesn't die, it expands. When your body is done, your soul will move on and back to its home, the universe, or heaven, however you see it. Your soul is energy. It holds memory and love. It does not exist in one single place once it leaves the human body. In fact, I think the soul is trapped in our flesh. Your loved ones are all around you. They see and hear you. Allow yourself to listen. Listen with your feelings. That's how they communicate a lot. All right, my loves. Well, thank you. Big thank you to Florid Media and Jay. We love you guys. Check it out if you're in Long Island and you want to do your own show. Possibly come to Florid Media. It's a great setup, and Jay is a great guy to work with. Please follow us on all the socials. Say hi to me on Instagram, ThomasDale5, or the Crusty Crystals Podcast. TikTok, The Wanderers, also Crusty Crystals Pod. And I think that's it. YouTube, yeah. Subscribe to my YouTube, Taurus55. Please comment and like and share. All right, guys, have a great week. Bye.